What is up, party people? One man down, but this is the Ebony and Ivory connection tonight on In This Very Ring, brought to you by A2D Radio. We're gonna get to a little king of the ring, bring some energy for the next 60 minutes or so. Let's get
Randy in position for another curb stop. Oh, my unbelievable counter. Oh, my God.
There we go. So tonight it's your boy OGP, and we got the main man, the master of the margarine, aka Butters.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad to see the beard is coming back. I really
you and me
am.
both. You and me
I
both.
really am. I really am.
Me no likey when beard is gone.
No. Was there a reason?
It's called don't shave at 4:00 in the morning when you just wake up.
Okay.
I needed to trim the beard, and I figured if I get up, trim the beard, hop in the shower, get all the hair off.
Right.
I had to charge the trimmer overnight because it was a brand new trimmer. Didn't come pre-loaded. So
Is that like with a guard or something like that? So you was on bare naked lady mode 4:00 in the morning.
Well, it had a guard, but it didn't. It was a crappy trimmer.
I got you. No worries, brother. So listen, you can see right now I got the ticker going. King of the Ring is going to be the topic for all night tonight for the next 60 minutes. May get a hit a little TWIW this week in wrestling towards the end. And then we got the fan rocking with us already. So tonight's poll, hop right into it. Recently drafted NXT talent will become the new king and queen of the ring. Agree or disagree? So, fam, as we rock throughout the night, just chime in. Thumbs up if you agree. Thumbs down if you disagree. So, Butters, I mean, I really only have one other option but to pass it to my proverbial on-screen right, which is my actual this way. Still getting put my L's up.
Yes.
What say you? What say ye?
So, kind of I would have to say agree, and not in the sense of, I probably wouldn't say it's on the men's side because the men's side, we already know who's going to get this one in Gunther.
Right.
I mean, if it comes down to him and Ilya, maybe Ilya could take it, but I do see the women's side coming down to, what's her name that's on the women's side? Is it Lyra Valkyria? Yes.
Lyra's, and is Tiffy in it or no?
I don't think Tiffy's in it.
Okay. Because that would have been my logical choice.
That would be. It would be a logical choice to have Tiffy in it, but I don't think Tiffy is in this one. I'm trying to see if I can find
You're doing the same thing I'm doing, brother.
I had it. I know I posted it in our groups too, so one of the problems was I think the same day that I posted one of the pictures, they changed it up like the next night because they've been taking people out, adding people. And this year they've probably had, I think,
they had to call a couple audibles so far.
Yes, they've had more replacements in the King of the Ring tournament this year than any other year. Normally, if they would have a replacement, it's only like one person, maybe two tops, and that's been a couple years. This year, it's been what? I think we're at 4 now.
Yeah, well, Bobby had to miss tonight, right?
Bobby, Drew, Asuka, who else did they call the audible for? There was one other.
Well, you said Bobby, Drew, Asuka. I can't think of the fourth one.
Kofi had to replace the other member of New Day.
Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods.
Yeah. So that's that's all 4 that's been replaced. Asuka's injured. Right. Xavier's injured.
Bobby,
everybody's injured.
Drew. I mean, I think that, but honestly, with Bobby and Drew, I think that I don't know if they're legit medically unable, clear to compete. I think it also
Drew, I do believe is.
Okay.
Asuka's been working through injuries.
Right. And she's finally getting some well-deserved time off. But I think some of this is also protection as well.
Bobby's the only one that I feel like is just it's a protection because they put him up against Tama Tonga.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's more of a protection for both sides. Everybody else is just on the injured reserve list right now.
And then on the women's side, I mean, like the one thing I don't like right now. So I feel as if, but who was recently drafted from the women's side? I definitely think Gunther's going to be king in the ring. Only other person because him and Ilya is meeting. They're meeting before the finals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no one on the women's side outside of Lyra that was a recent call up. But I'm looking at these names. I mean, because we get Jade versus Nia before, which I mean, that's a match that you probably can get away with. You just hope both people make it out in one piece.
Correct.
I'm gonna have to disagree because I can't answer this as a whole. And the reason I say that is because out of all the women's names, I'm kind of leaning towards Io being my pick for Queen of the Ring, honestly.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because I feel as if Trips knows that, while she carried the title for 8 months or so, really wasn't anything memorable from her run. And I think now with Trips being in soul control, truly soul control, having her on Raw, having more time, I think it's like a nod where she deserves another high profile run with something. You know what I mean?
Tiffy is in it. Sorry, Tiffy is in it.
Okay, then I changed. And I still disagree because Tiffy was called up before.
Correct. But see the way the brackets, I'm looking at the brackets right now. The way these brackets are working, I had this feeling Jade or Bianca is going to have to lose. Otherwise, I feel like they're heading towards Jade and Bianca in the semifinals.
Right. Well, I think you can get some. Here's a nod, right? And I like this, Damien. I do. This isn't. So if you look at Carmelo and you look at Tiffany, they both been caught up within the last 6 months. So you theoretically could say, that's somewhat recent. You can honestly say that even though why they weren't caught up or drafted per se, then it's a recent call up, right? So I don't hate that idea, because Carmelo could be the type of person who's a mid card who could really elevate it, and you need something to grasp onto. It won't be a title, you know what I mean? But that moniker King really kind of fits his personality. I don't know if they had kings in Germany. I'm just or Austria. I'm just saying, right? So that's just my thing. Like, to me, Carmelo with the crown, staff, the whole nine, it fits him.
It does.
It really does fit him, and you can elevate that, and you can just add that. But I mean, even for Tiffany, from that standpoint,
her match is going to be against Meechin. And if Tiffany wins this,
come on now.
You know, we all know Tiffany's winning this one, but then she's got to get through Bianca. Because that's where if she wins, she goes up against Bianca next.
I mean, yeah, because you put the tag team titles on Bianca and Jay for a reason. That they're kind of standing pat, they're doing their thing, but ultimately we're going to get to that split, right? It's how we get there, how we navigate to that point. So we kind of know where that's coming. Like, even for Tiffany just was on a 5-match card for Backlash France last Saturday in a triple threat match. I mean, could I see Lyra and Tiffany in the final? We could. I think that'd be a great match. They both work great, but I expect Tiffany to go over in that match. You know what I mean?
You see Jade losing this early.
Yes, and here's the reason why. What did Jade have? What did Bianca, not Bianca, what did Nia wrestle in tonight?
Nia wrestled against Naomi.
But what was she wearing? Specifically, what colors?
Blue?
On a blue brand. She was not wearing blue.
Oh.
She was wearing black and red. She was wearing bloodline colors.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? She was wearing bloodline colors. Solo had on a solid red shirt tonight in his segment. So they're starting to plant these little Easter eggs. I know we're all caught up in the QR codes, right? Whenever that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can go so many different routes. That's one of the things, like what Brinkman says right here. He says he loves King of the Ring, love the brackets, right? So this is one of those years to where they're actually putting emphasis into it. They're putting more thought into it. From you really can look and see outside of the men's side, we have Gunther, right? You can kind of see on the women's side, you can make a case in 4 or 5 different ways. And we've already sat here on the men's side, even at the same time, we can make a case for Carmelo, right? It's hard to see Gunther losing, right? Because now, unless you, the last man to beat him straight up before Sammy was Ilya.
Yes.
You know, for the NXT UK title before it got abolished, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could theoretically see that as well, and it could be a walkie finish. It does. I mean, because once again, it's just a winner. It doesn't have to be by pinfall or submission. It can be cat out. It can be disqualification. It can be all these other things, right? So theoretically, because you see Kofi come out and do a run in to cost Gunther the title. Gunther his chance to be the King of the Ring. And honestly, to me, we went through all the Hall of Famers that have won it: Owen Hart, Bret Hart, Mabel, rest in peace, Booker, Stone Cold, Triple H. So you have all these guys. Yeah, you really could solidify a guy like Gunther, but to me, he really doesn't need it per se. But the hard part is, why'd you put him in it then? Because he's not going to, like, he just lost 4 weeks ago after not losing for almost a year and a half. So now I'm like, it's hard for me to believe that somebody can take him out, especially in the ring style and the way that he works.
The same can be said about Jey Uso. He's in it. You know, he's red hot right now. He just lost a major match. And how are you going to have him in this tournament and potentially lose it?
So that's the one person where I can see the finals being a combination, because I think they're on the opposite sides of the bracket, right? I can see the finals for Raw being Jay Gunther or Jay Ilya. I can see that.
Well, the next match is going to be Jay Ilya, because
I thought Ilya was Gunther.
No. Gunther's going to go up against whoever wins the Kofi Rey Mysterio match this weekend.
Okay. Well, I mean, so we're quarterfinals, that's semifinals, and then finals. So Gunther's in the finals. Gunther's in the finals. I can't.
Ray's either going to get chopped in half, or Kofi's not going to have a chest anymore.
Right. And so on the other side in the semifinal, we got Jay Ilya.
Correct. For the Raw side. See, that's it's a toss up on this one, because you have the Mad Dragon. You really don't want him to lose, but he can afford that right now because it's early in his Raw career. But then you've also got Jey Uso.
Right.
He's lost a lot of these big matches here recently. It's like
he has, and it's like he one of his posts on social this past week from Backlash at France was like, the Fireflies are back. And I'm like, yo, that's because I didn't remember at the time when he did come out in France, all the phones were up like fireflies.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just this different bouncing. I mean, at the Cleveland Cavaliers Game 7 game for the NBA playoffs, the PA announcer played Jey Uso's song and had everybody bouncing during intermission. It is big. I mean, like you can make a case for Jey to win it. These years had, like, so this is what's so good about it. And last year, I'm not taking anything away from Xavier Woods, not doing that. But this bracket and the talent in this bracket and the names in it are on a much bigger scale than what they were in years past.
100%. Because even on the SmackDown side with Carmelo, Randy, Tama Tonga, potentially LA Knight or Santos Escobar, it's going to be LA Knight. Like, when that bracket breaks down into the final, then it becomes Raw versus SmackDown. Which one's going to be King of the Ring?
Right.
And to your point, you have so many people in these brackets. At least right now, the men's side, there's so many potential winners. You can't fully call it.
Right. Shout out real quick to our sponsor for tonight's show, Alonzi Travel. You see it, specialized creating the vacation your dreams, Disney Universal, wherever your heart calls to you. Let the talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation just for you. I'm not doing the whole Alonzi Travel / take the trip back, book the trip. I forget what he does, but the little short rich man will definitely take care of you if you reach out. Chuckster as well. I think the combined, when the tag team comes out and they say coming from wherever parts unknown combined weight, and they give the weight. I think for Chucks and Andy, if they did damn the weight, let's do a combined height and it'll still be under 6 feet. You know what I mean?
Damn.
I love them both. But yeah, man, I'm anxious to see, because I thought after Backlash, right? I'm like, okay, so King of the Ring is 525. So it's the last Saturday in the month of May. And I'm like, hey, I don't really know what they're going to do, what type of show they're going to put on. But the buildup has been there and the intrigue has been there. And even the first round matchup, we got to close out SmackDown tonight, Randy versus AJ.
Yes.
Now, you speak about losing big matches, right? So AJ, this is the thing with Trips. He's not generally scared to do this. AJ lost at Mania. He got the nod when he won the #1 contenders tournament, but he just lost in the main event of a PLE less than 7 days ago, and he lost again tonight. I'm not saying that correlates to what's going to happen with Jay, but if Trips and them feel like that's the story they want to tell and the direction they want to go in, it is what it is. I mean, at that point, what do you see from the SmackDown side of the bracket now? How that shakes up on the men's side after the matches we had tonight? Is it Tama and Randy next?
No, it's actually going to be Randy and Carmelo are next.
Which I can see the bloodline interfering in that, and Carmelo passing, getting
and
through.
Then Tama Tonga is going to face the winner of LA Knight Santos Escobar, which I think, LA Knight should win that one.
To me, Tama's not going to. Tama's intriguing from the fact and the standpoint of he definitely think he's going to win a couple matches, but not win the whole thing. If he does win the whole thing, does he just give the crown to Solo and crown him to further? That's like at some point, like I feel like the King of the Ring though should be something that elevates a person to a different level. That's why I'm thinking Carmelo. I think he would benefit him. I can't even really see LA Knight doing it, but could he make it work? Probably. To me, even like out of all the men that's in the tournament, Carmelo makes the most sense from the men's side. Carmelo or Ilya.
I was about to say, Ilya makes the most sense with the Mad Dragon gimmick he's got.
Right, and he already wears kind of a robe to the ring, things of that nature, So those two and Ilya would fit the poll question for tonight, which I'll put that back up. But fam, just checking back in with us. Let us know, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up if you agree, thumbs down if you disagree. Recently drafted NXT talent will become the new king or queen of the ring. Agree or disagree, right? So if we were going with that Mad Dragon line, that parallel, we're drawing that comparison. That you can see it, right? But I don't think Gunther needs it. I don't think Jay needs it. I really would like to see Jay as the world heavyweight champion at some point.
Yes. I kind of thought he was going to have it this weekend in that match, that banger of a match that they had, but I was like, ugh.
Yeah. But that's the thing. The story of Priest stepping out on his own, or like losing his cool at Finn and JD, and ultimately they end up turning on him. Maybe I don't know.
That's what shocked me.
Really turn Priest face, but
I thought that turn was coming right then and there because he's like he's already down. He's already had enough. Quit, leave him alone. Shoves both of them. I'm like, we're about to do it. We're really going to do this,
right?
And then it's like, oh, never mind. But
Yeah, so it's definitely something that's, if you're looking at a Venn diagram, right? It's a lot of different options that you go. So who do you think? And I'm gonna pose this question to the viewers as well. Who do you think will win, and who do you want to win? Who makes the most sense for you personally to win, and who do you think? What direction do you think WWE is going to go in for both the men and the women's side overall?
So who do I think will win, men wise?
Or give me your final, and
My
give me a
final,
winner for
my
both
final,
women and
my final two?
yeah, final two women, final two men,
Final two men.
and your winner.
I see being Ilya and Carmelo.
Okay.
And then my final two women, I would say Lyra and Jade.
Okay.
And then as far as winners go out of all that, really would like to see, I'd like to see Ilya and Lyra take it.
All right. So you got Carmelo versus Ilya. Okay. What you said with Ilya winning?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have Lyra versus Jade with Jade winning. Correct. Here's the thing. Before I give you mine, I'll just talk about yours. I like that. I love the Carmelo and Ilya. I just think if they do that, it's a different result, because remember, Melo has never beaten Ilya.
Correct.
I think he beat him the first time, if I'm not mistaken. But that was that whole, did Trick really help him or not, whatever. But when they fought straight up, Melo lost, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Saudi's ready for Jade yet. That's because I don't know if I want to put her in that spot, because her greatest attribute is her physique. And she can't show that in Saudi. You see what I'm saying? So I almost feel like I need to protect her from even getting to that point, and Nia is the perfect person to do that. I can almost see Nia and Jade going to a no contest or double disqualification or what have you, and then whoever wins the other semifinal automatically makes it into the final. That's a route they can go.
At that point, it'd be Bianca Tiffy.
And the winner of that is moving on. And that's where, I mean, you can take me either route with that, right? So then so for me, so I got Tama Tonga versus the winner of LA Knight Santos. I think Tonga loses in the semifinal. You got Carmelo versus Orton in the other semifinal on the SmackDown side. I feel like I have bloodline, because how Orton went out of his way tonight on SmackDown to say, I want retribution for what happened to KO.
Yes.
So I feel like they're going to intervene, because actually, you know what? I'll take that back. I think Tonga is going to win that semifinal match. And here's the key tell for this. If the Tonga LA Knight match is first, Tonga wins, they're going to do everything possible to not let Orton win and interfere, right? But that could backfire. Could you sell me on Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga in the finals for the SmackDown spot to go to King of the Ring? Cool. Randy did also say he's very good at what he does. I've never been King of the Ring. I've been many things, but I've never been King of the Ring. My good brother, first ballot Hall of Famer. As soon as you up for the nod, you could already be in the Hall of Fame. I don't care. I don't know why they don't do that with disrespect, but you don't need it, brother. Now, if this was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, cool. I can see Randy Orton being King of the Ring. Right now, no, you don't need it whatsoever. So
I think this is just a way to get Orton and Tama Tonga to go at it in a singles match.
But here's the thing: you don't need to have him. You don't need to do that, in my opinion, at the sacrifice of Melo, right? So you can do what I said, right? If they do Tonga versus LA Knight, whoever wins that Escobar match, Tonga wins, and then they end up costing Orton his spot. The next week, Orton gets his payback.
Yeah.
And the benefit, and here, and this kind of goes into what Melo's stick is right now. So new, he's just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he's just been all this other beef that really don't have nothing to do with him. He's just benefiting from it, and he'll find himself in the finals, right? So then, I don't know. So on the women's side for Raw, my semifinals are Zoe Stark versus, is it EL?
I think
Zoe hasn't wrestled. Zoe beat Ivy Nile. What's the match that didn't happen? It's Zelina Vega and Shayna Baszler, right? Okay, I think that's the one that's
it's
right.
Okay, hold on, let me get to the women's. Yeah, Shayna versus Zelina. You know, with Zelina trying to retain her crown this year,
right?
Which is something we haven't seen yet.
And won't see it. It's not this is not happening again. So you got Shayna versus Zelina. Shayna going over, and then does she go Zoe or she go Lyra?
No, the winner of that match goes EO.
Goes EO.
Yeah, it's going to be Lyra Zoe. So you're
wasn't Zoe the last time it was at Saudi? Didn't Zoe challenge Rhea for the women's championship?
Yes.
All
so
right,
your quarterfinals right now would look like Lyra Zoe and EO Shayna Zelina. You know, whoever wins the Shayna Zelina. So that'd be your quarterfinals for the Raw side.
I wouldn't mind Lyra EO and then Shayna and Zoe, because then once again, like you find yourself telling stories, right? And they have storylines. Shane and Zoe, they were tag team partners. They cool,
and that'd be an interesting that would be an interesting semifinal match.
Yes, and both, and then Lyra EO that can steal a card on any night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy that I heard somebody say it on some other platform. They said it's crazy that EO, who did EO beat? Natalia?
Yes.
So he said EO Natalia was EO's best match since she won the world title.
Wow.
Honestly, and you wasted it for doing her run. So once again, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking for Saudi, but that's why we're playing this game. Mm-hmm. So once again, for me, just to kind of recap, my picks would be Carmelo Orton as the SmackDown final. Carmelo going over by assistance from the bloodline, just right place, right time. Then on my Raw side, Jay Elias is one semifinal. Gunther Kofi. That's going to lead me to Jay Gunther, and at that point you gotta have Jay win. Like Jay has to be in the final. Jay has to come out of the Raw side, and because you want
Jay Melo for the final.
Jay Melo the final, and then Melo going over on Jay, because at that point you're going to have the bloodline at the event. Maybe they whatever that awkward stuff is, because all I could think of is especially what we just saw from the news of what the pay-per-view buys was for Backlash France, being the lowest in WWE history, right? You had to capitalize on that moment when they already talked about there's only 5 matches on that card. Saudi Arabia.
I mean, it being low, I mean, it was an afternoon pay-per-view. They don't usually do that well to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to your point, only 5 matches, and some of those matches just weren't like hyped up enough, or people really didn't care for them.
Right. So, but here, so you take that, right? What were the moments that actually did hit live? Jay's, because the crowd was amazing.
Yes. Oh my God.
the crowd was amazing, right? Like there was one comment earlier where they said all PLEs should be out of the country.
That
But
was Damien's.
okay, that is Jay's entrance in Saudi. Oh my gosh!
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. You strike while the iron is hot, and I'm not taking. And I don't know how you have Gunther lose that match. Maybe you can have him lose it by disqualification because he just go left. You could do that, but that's the final. I would want to see Melo coming out of the SmackDown side because I feel like he needs that push. He needs something to hold on to, and then obviously, if it's my pick, Melo or Jay, I have Melo going over again because he is ready for that already. On the mic, in the ring, he can carry that, and how he carries himself as his character, that King of the Ring moniker fits him. And then I can see him being U.S. champion or doing whatever else, right?
Yeah.
It's hard for me not to go with Tiffany because it's kind of the same thing, but you're not going to have the King and Queen of the Ring be from the same brand.
Well, I get your point. You're not going to want to have
right.
You could, but you're not going to. You're going to have your Queen be from SmackDown, most likely, with your King being from Raw.
And I'm opposite. And like I said, I really could with Damage Control being there, EO rocking the crown, half cop back, how she always do with her thing that she come out, she do that little bend back and her mannerisms and things like that, especially when she got Dakota to speak for. I can kind of see that. And that gives them a boost and some relevancy without Asuka being there, right? So
correct.
And I'm cool with that. If you got EO and you got Melo as your king and the queen, I'm cool with that. I can't see like a crown and the staff and all that don't fit Jay to me. And honestly, it doesn't fit Gunther to me either. Honestly, and I mean, as far as accolades and achievements and skill, yeah, I can see it, but just the visual. If I close my eyes here and I'm visualizing the robe,
honestly and truly, I could visualize Jay wearing that.
It fits Jade at some point. I just don't think it's right now.
Uso.
Jay.
Yeah, Jay. I mean, that man come out with the crown, the robe. He's got the scepter in hand, and he's just popping them hands with that scepter sideways.
The scepter sideways.
Up and down. You know he can pull that off.
Oh yeah. I definitely think he could pull it off. I'm not concerned with that so much. It's
but I get where you're coming. That it's better for someone like Carmelo to have it. It helps boost his career a little more, even though knowing he's got a big head start after that match with Cody.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm very thankful for the standpoint of we have this now, and it's literally so many different directions they can go. And at every level of quarterfinals match, semis, finals match, to finals match, it's going to be something intriguing to where it makes sense, or you can draw a storyline for both competitors involved for them to win. And then not just win that match, but win the whole thing. Not just saying I'm in it to be in it. You know what I mean? Obviously, some like LA Knight, Santos, that's okay. That's a throwaway. We can see that.
We see why some of these matches are thrown onto the to the house shows. All we're gonna get is, hey, this person won. All right, cool. We're not gonna see how they won. But...
Right. Dirt Sheet said some of the plans is to have them like show some highlights, some clips, things of that nature.
That I read that, and that wouldn't surprise me.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I could definitely see that.
This is probably the first King of the Ring in a long, long time that has actually interested me to sit there and watch it, because, to your point you just made, all these matchups are just great matchups. No matter how you place them on the card, semifinal, quarterfinal, We can do this. We can do this. No matter how you do it, we can do any and everything.
Right.
And it still goes. I'm gonna sit there and watch.
Yeah. I mean, they could get Jay to nod for it, and because then you get that entrance twice. You get the entrance with the bounce, and you get him winning, crown bouncing, the music hitting. That's going to be a good moment.
Mm.
It's just like, to me, what do you like? We always ask this question. All right, Jay wins. What's next for Jay? You see what I'm saying?
Well, if Jay wins, it's going after the world title one more time.
Ooh, this is an angle we haven't heard. Dynasty 215, always rocking with us every week. We appreciate it. Thinking Gunther, but I feel like it's going to be Tama versus Jay in the finals.
That could really set up.
It can set up war games. But if you do that, my only downside to that is if you do that, then you're telling me Jay's winning.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Tama can't be the king when he's not the king in his own faction.
Correct.
So if Tama wins, that means he's just handing the crown over to Solo. And here's my thing. And this is the other thing. Jay's a little bit different because he's not so-called in the bloodline anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodline, they have chiefs. They don't have kings. I mean, this may just be me, but Peter Maivia was called High Chief Peter Maivia, not High King. So that's where like some believability to it, right? Just because it's the title, you know what I mean? Could they turn it into something else, chief of the WWE? But now you can't do that because you want to be tribal chief. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would love to if that's a very intriguing final with the result that is somewhat predictable. But even with that being said, we would still want to see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You still want to visualize that. You still want to see that. But it's definitely intriguing on both sides. We're 40 minutes in almost. And we, like I said, all tonight talked about so far, this is the king and the queen of the ring. Can't remember the last time that this much thought and detail from what they're doing behind the scenes to what we're seeing on camera, and then everybody else talking about it and the intrigue behind it, because you have a mix of established stars, upcoming stars, legends already in it, and things of that nature, that there's no really wasted talent in here, in my opinion. Dakota Kai had the fill-in for Asuka, had a great match. The finish was a little wonky, but it was a good match, right? We already talked about Io and Natalya. That probably stole it, right? That was Io and Natalya. They really went at it. Gunther, Sheamus, we saw that closed out. So you had two quarterfinal matches close out both your shows this week on TV.
You had that. I mean, in that match with Sheamus, Gunther, banger. You know, it just. And Sheamus, of course, coming after saying, "Hey, that was our final, throwdown together. I'm not doing it
again." All right, Dynasty, you cooking right now, brother. He says, and you have Roman return there. I don't think is he done filming? Because I know
he could be by that time, but that would be interesting to have Roman return there. I don't see Roman returning till SummerSlam. Sorry.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a little too early. I would love maybe just his music hit, what have you, but maybe it's a little too early. Yeah, man. Now see Dynasty, but he's bringing up a whole different angle that me and you didn't even. He got us looking at it from a completely different lens.
But I don't, a whole bloodline angle,
right? And that's where I think they're in a very advantageous position to where they don't have to push the bloodline front and center in that fashion.
Correct.
Right? The bloodline can be a part of this. We know it's not going away, right? So, but the King of the Ring, it should be elevating talent, in my opinion.
Yes.
Right. It should. We shouldn't be kind of clouding that with something, and that's where if you have Ilya as the Mad King, or you have King Mello, God, that sounds amazing.
King Mello sounds good. The Mad King sounds good.
Queen EO, Queen Lyra.
Queen of the Skies. EO, the Queen of the Skies.
Oh, dude. All right, we're done. Because nobody's paying us to do this. You know what I mean? But literally, we just came up with, we just wrote WWE content which you can address these talent for the next year.
Right?
We literally just did that. Fam, if you're rocking with us so far up until this point, 40 minutes in, I don't know where the graphic is. It's some little graphic, whatever. I'm not even going to do all that. Like, if you like us, share if you want to, subscribe if you will. If you will, my little dusty voice, if you will, give us a subscribe, hit that like button. Got almost 100 people in here. We appreciate you rocking with us. You guys are the reason why we keep doing this. And
thankful for each and every one of you every night.
So whoever wins will get a tap by the wire. 6. Okay.
Oh, that would be a heck of a debut.
Gunther just rings money. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm at. That's his time. And I think money. Where's Money in the Bank at?
This year?
Is it in Germany?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Gunther's winning that one. Gunther is winning that one. Done.
Yeah. That's him. And then I said this after WrestleMania 39. I said when Cody wins it next year, he should lose it to Gunther.
It's in Canada. It is in Toronto.
That's maybe why they said the early front runner was Sammy.
Nah, I don't see Money in the Bank being Sammy this year. I see Money in the Bank being Gunther.
But once again, okay, because Gunther could cash it in on Cody. He has free reign to cash it in on any champion.
Mm-hmm.
So
the one we're thinking of for Germany is Bastion Berlin in August.
Is that so? We have 2 PLEs in August.
Yeah, at the end, August 31st is Bastion Berlin.
And then SummerSlam in Cleveland is what, 3 weeks ahead of that?
SummerSlam 2024 is August 3rd, the beginning of the month.
Okay. Here's the thing. Still go with Gunther. You have him cash in at Bash at Berlin. You have him cash in at Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
Question: If we're Triple H, if this is the Triple H era, why are we getting Cody versus Paul? To me, that feels like.
No, I don't think it feels like a Paul move. I think it feels like we need Logan, something to do for Logan, even though he's got a championship he could be defending.
Right, because I think they want to keep the United States title on him till SummerSlam. Honestly, that's a big thing. That's the big draw for him. And the one thing I can say is, it's not like we're getting someone who can't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we already know, we've seen him in, like, he had me believing he was beating Roman, bro. Like,
I was about to say, he's fought for that title before. He's had a taste. He wants more. The man can go the distance. So as much as I hate to see it, let's roll it back, have Cody and Logan do it, and they'll go the distance. Hopefully it's another 5-star match like it was with AJ and Cody this weekend. Yeah. I was shocked to see that rating. And
that's the crazy part, where it's like the matches at Backlash France were pretty much for the most part all good. We got Tonga Loa. Like, I still have to pinch myself that the Gorillas of Destiny are in WWE right now. That's it's amazing, bro. Like, I just no, it's amazing. But
got them here.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to transition a little bit 45 minutes in to, let's get into a little this week in wrestling. What was your biggest takeaway from wrestling this week overall? Just biggest moment. It could be biggest disappointment.
I mean, we had a big moment in AEW with the announcement of the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Kenny can't be in that with his current status. He's just announced he's gonna have surgery here soon to get that all fixed up. But I was a little shocked that yes, I knew it was gonna be FTR, figured that much, but Danielson and Eddie Kingston.
Mm-hmm. Ain't working together.
I'm like, what happened here? How did we get this far? Because I've missed something, obviously. You know, I get it, they respect each other at this point, but like, I'm missing something.
I don't know. I don't know where Adam Page is at. I guess he must be hurt or what have you. Because that's who I thought it was. I was like, that makes logical sense. Here's the thing. I just want everybody to get ready for this. When TK comes back, everybody's gonna he's going to join the elite. They are writing the script for NWO as you see it.
NWO, the higher power.
Yes, the swerve is coming. Heck, I would even have Eddie Kingston join the elite because it's so it's so out of the ordinary. Or
you know what?
Have Danielson do it.
You say that, and those words are going to get spoken in existence with Eddie Kingston joining because it's so out of left field. Right. It works.
Yes, exactly.
That's the problem I have. That part right there is it's so out of left field. It works.
Yeah, I would say. My AEW thing is not a good thing, what I'm about to say. And I never thought I would say this, but what the heck are we doing with the CEO? Like, I have not, they have butchered a lot and botched a lot of returns. Okada at first when he joined the elite, I'm like, I don't like this. Now it's not as it's not as bad. Deanna. But bro, like I just don't know.
I feel like TK's waiting for her first match to be at Double or Nothing, and it should have been sooner.
Some of this is on her though too. You know what I mean? Some of this is on her. I don't know if she's writing her own promos where we're at. Some of this stuff I just feel like this is probably not the direction I would have taken this stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And from what I was told, I didn't see it, but they released the footage of her being attacked. I don't know if fan let me know.
That part, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I like what they're doing with the whole Swerve and Christian Cage and the patriarchy. I get that. I hope my hope is at Double or Nothing that it's Keith Lee who makes the save if he's healthy enough. We haven't seen him in a while because I kind of had that feeling that the Moguls is what he was in charge of that turned on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, you can't have 7-on-1. I mean, I get it. They're trying to build him up to be like this champion who's going to have no chance, this, that, and the third, and obviously trying to put him as over as possible. But I like that part. I really like the visual of the unified trio champions having all the belts, and then bringing them out. So not just the Ring of Honor titles, not just the black AEW trios titles, but also carrying the pink ones as well. Mm-hmm. That's almost like heads on a pole, like heads on a stick, where you know what I mean, like you showing your prize, right? WWE wise, man, they just kind of hit it, man. Like every show, like even like this watching Raw, it's now you have this influx and mix of talent. Now they don't hit on everything, right? But I think the Liv Becky segment fell a little short, a little bit for me. I'm curious to see what direction they go at King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring.
What made me mad this week is the Raw match between Lyra and Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
You have this Raw debut. Mm-hmm. You know where I'm going with this. If you remember, you have a Raw debut and Lyra Valkyrie, her first match on Raw. And what do? Less than a minute into the match. Hey, we're going picture-in-picture. We're going to just screw this match. We want you to watch because Michael Cole's like, hey, we got a clip for the brand new Planet of the Apes movie. Let's roll it. Why are you rolling it right now, Cole? I'm interested in this match, not the damn movie.
Right. So this will lead us into the last 10 minutes. So this is credit goes out to Busted Open, Dave LaGreca, the guys over at Sirius XM. I had this thought, right, and I'll bring it forward now. 7 months from now, you don't have this issue, right? Because we're going to be on Netflix. what, and I've already thought this to myself. Like, we'll take Cobra Kai, for instance, right? Cobra Kai, for instance, you can have one episode is 25 minutes, one episode is 32 minutes, one episode is 45 minutes. No commercials, right? So 7 months from now, when Raw's on Netflix, you don't have traditional picture in picture anymore. You may pop up a sponsor, do this or do that, but you literally, there is like, creatively, there's so many more opportunities now.
Mm-hmm.
You can have Raw season, whatever it is, episode, whatever it is, 2 hours, 18 minutes, 2 hours, 50 minutes. You figure it's 3 hours. That's with TVs and commercials, right? That 3 hours is probably only actually ending up to be about 2 hours and 15 minutes of actual on-screen time. So imagine if you can legit have a 3 hour Raw. That 3 hour Raw on Netflix is going to look a hell of, that's almost going to feel like a PLE. To where they don't have to have a hard out. They can have a soft end time. If they don't have to worry about like what Jimmy and Jay kept talking about, the WrestleMania 40 match where they said time got cut. Who gives a shit if time gets cut? You can just add that time. So wrestlers, it's going to be a different environment for wrestlers to work. And we did hear Q4, WWE and USA Network reached a deal. NBC Universal
$25 million.
$25 million to carry through the end. So I think SmackDown and Raw at some point during the tail end of this year are both going to be on USA. But what are your thoughts?
SmackDown debuts in October.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the perspectives of what we're going to see as far as a visual production standpoint and not having any commercials traditionally when they get to Netflix?
I still think we're going to get some sort of commercial. It's not going to be your traditional commercial. I think we're still going to get some sort of commercial to give them that commercial break that they usually normally have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to have something, but it's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be a traditional commercial. Mm-hmm. It's probably, like you were pointing out earlier, something to what they do for the PLEs. These matches are only going to go so long. We're going to get the straight match, move to a backstage segment.
Right. I think you'll get more elaborate entrances, maybe like we saw with Sami Zayn at Raw with Jay exiting through the crowd, mm-hmm. Sami Zayn walking in. What we saw with CM Punk, which was great this past Monday night, him getting out the old dump car, walking through, hey, tell them to hit my music, walking through Gorilla, seeing Trips and everybody there saying, hi, only walked out to the crowd.
All in one scene, you get Drew leaving and Punk coming in, not Drew leaving right. And then, half a match later, we see Punk walking, coming in.
So Damian says that they just announced it today that the premiere of SmackDown on USA is September 13th. Okay. So a little earlier than we thought. So they're definitely going to both be on USA. But I like it. It's just it's a transition of what's coming next. Cable being on its way out, Netflix being a thing. Why Netflix already? So just be prepared in the next 6 to 12 months for Netflix to probably announce we have live TV. Honestly, because that's where it's going, and that's
where the commercials are going to come from.
Right, they're paying out so much money. They think they paid $5 billion for the rights to Raw over a 10-year period or something like that.
Something like that.
So now you have to create another revenue stream, right? And I mean, Netflix has been around now 15 years.
Netflix. I remember Netflix when they were first DVDs only.
So that's probably about 20 years now. So they've been around for a long time. So
yes,
this is just the next evolution into it, right? But I'm very curious to see. I think just to bring it back to something that's more current is with the King of the Ring, Double or Nothing. I know I see a lot of our watchers here, our followers right here, right, watching this right now, maybe somewhat dipping their toes in casually with AEW, and they deserve it, right? They deserve it, honestly. From what I heard, and I wouldn't go this route, there's a possibility that Monet and Nightingale is the main event for Double or Nothing, which I'm like, huh? You mean to tell me we got Roddy Strong, Will Ospreay, Swerve, and Christian Cage?
So all that tells me is,
and Anarchy Rules.
Yeah, Anarchy in the Arena, world title match. All you're telling me is Monet is ending that, is main eventing because she's winning that title.
Yeah, which I don't think. I hope they don't go that direction. I definitely think this.
If that is true, that's the main event, she's winning that title.
Yeah, and here's the biggest swerve that AEW can do right now, and one of the best things they have cooking outside of swerve. All this heat that Trent Beretta, Chuck Fletcher, and everybody has on him for Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is going to join the Don Callis family. His stick works both ways.
Mm-hmm.
The nonchalant stick works both ways. No one will see that coming.
You talking about the nonchalant pile driver?
Right. Like, no one's going to see that coming, where Trent's going to be validated for everything that he was saying. And I told you so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see that. I don't know when we're going to get Tonga Low in the ring. And I'll give you the last 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to hit you with Billy Gunn. Oh, you didn't know that Jacob Fatu was that nice? Jacob Fatu, because you remember you said, you knew he was good.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know he was. He's a different beast.
So, real quick, what's up, Tom?
Yo, Tom.
Earlier in the week, they come out and said that they're trying to figure out a way to debut him because they have this fear that he's going to outshine Solo Sikoa.
Right.
Because right now they're pushing for Solo to be that boss. Mm-hmm. But yet, as soon as he debuts, he's just going to outshine him, and Solo's going to get pushed in the back, and that's not what they want.
Right.
What Pete said is, I posted in the group, and I said, I realize he's good. I didn't realize he was that good that they're that scared already.
Yeah. He's, my man is doing moonsaults from the top of the cage. Like, some people just have it, bro. And he has it. Like, everybody thought,
Rock Light.
Right. Like, everybody thought, okay, well, this bloodline is going. No, that's called a bloodline for a reason, because they're all over.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many of them in the industry with ties back to the Samoan heritage. And I know he's still green now, but I don't know if it's going to happen between now and then. I'm trying to think out of a way they can fill out Roman's side. That's Roman, Jimmy J. They're going to need that fourth, maybe that fifth. Somehow, some way, if they can get Zilla Fatu, who is Umaga's actual son.
Yes.
That'd be, because he's out there where you at. He's in Texas, right? He's in Houston.
Yeah.
So that'd be amazing, man. But the stories between now and then still being told. Damian Priest took a next step in his evolution as champion, his validation. We had a great match. Then he came out Monday and apologized. We're going to see Cody kind of. If anybody, I would actually say, honestly, from WrestleMania, the person that's cooled off the most has probably been Cody. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's just the truth. I think Cody has cooled off the most.
Because all they've truly done with Cody, other than wrestle a couple matches, is he comes out, what do you want to talk about? And leaves.
Yep. Doing everything that Roman was doing. but that's also how can I say this? I don't know if they do it right away. But because Netflix is taking Raw in 2025, I can truly see them, because they only have the one main network show, and I think NXT is going to WB or something like that.
Yeah, the CW network.
CW. SmackDown's going to go to 3 hours. I think.
You almost got to.
Yeah, because NXT is going to be 2, SmackDown's going to be 2, Netflix is whatever it wants to be with Raw, and I think you're going to need those advertising dollars. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And USA probably wants that, because I don't think USA's ever had SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I think they have at one point.
But what he said, please, Dynasty said, please no. Damian says, I can't wait for the Zilla debut. He's got to be
I get where Dynasty's coming from on the please no. SmackDown right now is hitting that sweet spot at that 2 hours.
Yeah. Look at this. It's Dynasty in reference to Jacob Fatu. He's got to be on Roman babyface side. He's too good. You see a 300 power do a split-legged moonsault. Bro, he's a
beast.
People that big shouldn't be able to move like that, but he is, man. So, for my main man, Butters, you got anything else to leave for the people?
No, I do not today, sir.
For your boy OGP, Andy is in the air somewhere. Like I said, him and Chucks can get you right with Alonzi Travel, booking your next vacation to anywhere Disney, Universal, or anywhere. Honestly, Disney in Paris, Disney in Tokyo, Disney World in LA, Universal Studios. They're at a combined height of 5 foot and 10 inches. So, but I still love them. So, but everyone here from A2D, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Once again, like, share, subscribe, podcast everywhere, A2D Radio. You can find us on all socials. Reels are up every day. Check in with us, tap in, and we'll be back next week. Peace.
Peace.